wake up the world, it's a brand new flow. Stories are brewing with Joe. Pull up a seat, let your truth unfold. Real talk, real hearts, real souls. It's coffee and conversations with Joe, where your voice has room to grow. No judgment, just love that flows. Coffee and conversation.
Good morning, y'all. Welcome into, y'all know what time it is. It's Coffee and Conversation with who? With your boy, Joe. How y'all doing? Yo, man, this has been a great year. How y'all doing? You got your coffee? I got my cup of Joe. You know what I mean? I got my cup of Joe. I want to talk to y'all before I get to my guest today. Number one, let me know where you chiming in at. Make sure you grab a cup of coffee. Of course, all my shows are great. Today is going to be no different. But before I get into the show, I need y'all to go do me a favor, all right? Filter Coffee Parlor has been so good to Lock It In Media, to my team and your boy Joe Lockett. Now we need to help them out. Need y'all to go vote. These window decorations right here on the south side, right? My producer telling me to get closer to the camera so y'all can see this. So I'm gonna put this right here. Okay, how about that? I need y'all to go. He told me to hold it up. Okay, you got it right there? All right. So y'all see this right here? I don't know if y'all can do the QR code on the cameras, but if y'all can't, go to their Instagram page, okay? And like the picture with the windows, with the window pictures there of their windows, and the people whoever get the most likes on their page, on their window decoration page on Instagram, their staff is going to get money, I guess, from the city. I'm not sure where it's coming from, but they're going to get some money. And of course, Filter Coffee Parlor is the best on this block. So y'all need to make sure that y'all going out there and vote Filter Coffee Parlor, vote Filter Coffee Parlor. So go like it on Instagram and go like the picture that has the window decoration on their Instagram, okay? Go like the picture that has the window decoration on the Instagram. So go like it right now so they can win, so their staff can get some nice Christmas money, presents, whatever they're giving out. We want Filter Coffee Parlor to win. There's only 3 people in the running, so Filter Coffee Parlor. All right, y'all make sure y'all go do that for your boy. All right, I appreciate you. Now, on today's show, here's an older but goodie, right? There are people in the world that comes into your life, and they change you for the better. Have you ever had those people walk into your life that, you know, when things are really, really, really bad, but it's only 1 or 2 people that'll show up in your life, right? And change and give you wisdom, put you on point, and be there for you no matter what. And here's the thing about it. They don't ask you for nothing in return. They just do it out of the kindness of their heart. I've been blessed to have those kind of people in my life. And this young lady that I have on the show with me today, she have never once asked me for 1 red cent and had gave me over $1 million worth of advice, time, and everything in the time of my life. When I say my life was bad, it was horrible. I was in the dirt. I was there. And she never saw it that way. She said, "You're gonna be okay. Give me a call. We'll work it all out." I owe her a lot. She's here today to talk about some things that she has going on. It's not for me this time, right? It's for people, and that's just who she is. She gives back to the world. She works very hard in the community, and she builds up people. And I am so proud to call her my sister. I'm so proud to call her my friend, the one, the legend, Miss Tamika Holmes. Welcome to the show, baby.
Thank you, Joe. Thank you.
How's it going?
It is going. It is our busy season, and we're doing probably 4 or 5 weeks worth of work in 2 weeks.
Well, before we get to the reason you're actually here, I want to ask you this question because I never asked you this. Why did you help me when I needed help?
Because it was the right thing to do.
But you never once asked me, you didn't put a price to what you did for me. You just set your appointment, told me to get on your calendar, and you helped me get my life back in order. Yeah. What was it about me at that time that you said, okay, I'm you know, I mean, it's like when I called you and I told you, like, okay, bro, I got you. You know, this is what we're gonna do. What was it about me?
You know, God gives us a certain discernment about people. And, you know, my discernment kicks in very strong. And so you needed help. And it felt genuine. It felt like you really needed to find a way to get through the situation that you were in. And the Holy Spirit told me to do it.
And I don't mind telling you, it was when I was going through the time of my divorce, y'all. You know, things were really tough for me. And this woman showed me how to stay in the game to keep my radio show. You helped me get my taxes back together. You actually sat down with me and helped me do my taxes. You gave me a blueprint on what the things I needed to get done. Here's where you are. Let's take a look at that. And then you said, this is where you need, where you want to, you told me, where do you want to go? Right. And then you started to put me into the steps. Okay, these are the things, Joe, you got to clean up, these things you got to go do. You were one of the first people that made me be accountable for the things. Well, was I the first person you done that for?
No, I've been doing work like that for over 20 years. And so I've been doing consulting for individuals, consultants for firms, and I'm in the process of realigning my consulting firm to be more of an education firm to provide that type of help to people who, at a nominal fee, to people who need to have a starting point and they need to see where they're going to be. But one of the number one things that I have learned being a nonprofit is that people are not going to do business with you unless you have your stuff together.
Before we get into the great things you're doing for your community and your company, who is Tamika Holmes? Were you born here?
Born and raised Birmingham, Alabama.
Okay.
So this is my story, and I'm sticking to it. I just had a conversation with a partner of mine this week early. So I was born in Smithfield, grew up in Norwood. Smithfield, Fourth Terrace North.
Okay.
Grew up in Norwood, was raised in Ensley.
Okay.
Got married in West End. Raised my family in Titusville. And now I'm on the east side.
Okay.
So
definitely born and bred.
Born and bred Birmingham.
Okay.
Grew up and operated in many of the neighborhoods that we see, which kind of led me into the work that I'm doing now. Working towards a better me. A lot of people know me as Dr. Tamika Holmes because I finished my degree, but a lot of people don't know I was a high school dropout.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. 15 years old, dropped out of school.
Wow.
Well, my dad, he was in a wheelchair, bedridden. So I was helping to be a caregiver to him.
At 15?
At 15, yeah.
Your mom wasn't there?
My mom had some addiction issues at the time, and she's overcome that. You know, I always like to say, hey, the situation that you're going through, God can bring you through. So a lot of people see my mom at the front desk of our center, and they don't understand that, hey, everybody go through something. And I also was raising my brother at the time. So
at 15?
At 15. Yeah.
No brothers and sisters?
I have an older sister, and life was life in her. I had an older brother at the time. He's passed away not too long ago, but he was in Atlanta raising his family. So I was the kid. I was the person, the accountable one, as they like to say.
Do you think what happened to you at 15 shaped you to become the person that you started to become?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I've been taking care of people since I've been 11 years old. When my brother came into this world, you know, a lot of things that we go through when you have a younger sibling and that older sibling helps it, that kind of started it. And then when my dad, who was in a car accident later on, you know, we didn't have the money to hire a private nurse and to have a lot of caregivers out. So we had to figure it out.
So when a person drops out of school, do the schools allow you to drop out? Or you just quit and just didn't go back?
They're not supposed to. Me with my smart self went to the school and said, hey, I want to withdraw. And they allowed me to. But here's the disturbing thing. My husband, who was my boyfriend at the time, he tried to talk me out of it. My mom was going through a real bad stint, and so everything was kind of hard in the household. And she asked me to come home. So I walked down to the school, and the lady in the office, she's sitting there doing her job. She never looked up at me once. So many kids at that time were dropping out of school or getting put out of school. she had memorized in her head which 3 forms I needed to have filled out. So she pulled those 3 forms. She said, go around to all your teachers and make sure you turn your books in, have these people to sign off here, and then bring me this form back to the office. And at that time, I did all that and I was gone. Said goodbye to my friends and hugged on them. And then from there, did what I had to do.
Okay, sis, I got to ask you this because I'm curious. Seriously. Because at 15, you go to school I know we went to school from 8 to 3.
Right.
There was nothing you had to do something so important between 8 to 3 that you couldn't go to school?
Yeah. Like when I say I was a caregiver for my dad, I'm talking about CNA style caregiving, bathing him, helping him shave.
So he didn't have any brothers and sisters, mama, uncles, dad, uncle, cousin, nephews, nieces, nothing?
No, my dad. So my family dynamics is really, really strange.
Okay.
When I was born, my mom was 28, my dad was 51. So you have to.
Okay.
Yeah. So if that paints the picture.
Okay, gotcha. Okay.
You know, by the time all this was going on, my dad was in his 60s. All his brothers and sisters gone. You know. Yeah. Even my grandparents from that side of the family, they
were gone.
Gone. Wasn't no help them.
Yeah.
And so, being that caregiver to him and going through the struggles and the things that I had to go through, it really it shaped me to be a go-getter, but it also shaped me to have a heart for people as well. So yeah.
So how did we get from dropping out of school, taking care of dad, to doctor?
So dad ended up getting sick later on that year, and what we learned was the blood was not circulating in his legs appropriately, and he ended up having both of his legs amputated. And even during that time, as he had the surgery, he went in. Of course, he's up in age. Had some beginning phases of Alzheimer's. When he came out of that surgery, he not only had full-blown Alzheimer's, but had some dementia as well. So we were trying to figure out what his care plan was going to be like. And this is when I first learned about social workers. So I'm preparing for my dad to come home, and I'm asking what kind of equipment we need and all this stuff. And so this lady, and I can't remember her name, she sat me up, my little 15-year-old self down and said, hey, you weren't supposed to be doing this to begin with. Let us help you come up with a plan. And I will never forget that, because my mind is always in go mode. What's the next step? What's the next phase? How we're going to get things handled. And so we ended up putting my dad into a rehabilitation facility. And it was a rehabilitation facility that my aunts worked at. So we knew we had family there that can kind of look in on him, make sure he had the care that he needed. And from there, with the situation that my mom was in, we ended up losing our house, and we ended up moving into public housing, what she did. During that time, she didn't have space for me going through her thing. So I was actually ended up homeless. And so.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. Okay. Since I didn't know all this.
Yeah. I don't look like what I've been through.
You don't.
I don't look like what I've been through.
So at 15,
ended up homeless. My you'll hear me talk about Dwayne and our journeys parallel. So
Dwayne is your husband.
Dwayne is my husband. We end up
not then, y'all. Okay.
Not then. No. Now I did marry him a year later.
Okay.
So
at 16?
16, my dad signed for it. Yeah. So I've been married. We'll be married 30 years next year. 30 years.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
Dropped out, homeless, married at 16.
Married at 16. Had my first son a month away from my 18th birthday. So yeah.
Oh, you found you a good one.
Found me now, hey, we done been through some roller coasters.
Yeah, but at 16, of course you have. Of course you have. Yeah.
19. We grew up together. And so
I gotta shake his hand when he come back.
Yeah, he come to pick me up.
Yeah.
And when I tell you, he takes care of me, like, because
he does.
All of the work that I have to do on a day-to-day basis, he sees it. So when I tell you, I don't have to do. I don't have. He is a real one. When I tell you that.
Yeah, it doesn't make him the most. They don't make him no
They
more.
don't make no more. Well, he was able to duplicate in my sons, but it kind of stopped. So, we ended up getting a place, got married, had my oldest son, and my oldest son was at about 8 months old. And, I was a depressed teenage mom trying to figure out how I'm gonna go back to school. I've tried a couple of times and it wouldn't take. And so I don't know if many people remember where 5 Points West Library is now. It used to be a food fair grocery store.
Really?
Back in the day. Yeah. And next to it used to be a Zare. I'm telling my age a little bit now.
You talking about over there 5 Points?
5 Points.
Oh, yeah, it was, because there was right back there in the back, right across the street from the fairground.
Yep.
I know you're talking about, yeah.
So it was Fairfield, it was food fair, and then it was Zare. So that was our grocery store that we would frequent. Okay. And so I was walking, had my baby, and told Dwayne was with me. And this is how I know, I will tell anybody, this is how I know God is real.
Talk to me.
So I'm walking out the store. I got my baby in the basket. And I never looked at this lady's face. She put a flyer in my hand. I never looked at the flyer. I folded it up, put it in my pocket. And when we got down the road to my mother-in-law's house and we kind of got settled, I pulled the flyer out of my pocket, and it was a GED program. Mm-hmm. And now, as I'm looking down the flyer, I'm talking myself out of this. I'm like, okay, I done tried this before. I'm like, I ain't got no way to get there. So as I come down, free transportation. Okay. I ain't got nobody to keep my baby. Free childcare. You bring your child with you. They had a childcare center on site.
God.
And then they even had an extra. We're going to feed you breakfast and lunch. And I was like, well, I ain't got no more excuses.
Right.
Had no more excuses. So I signed up for that class. I was probably 19 years old. I was the oldest girl in the class because the class was full of like 15, 16, 17-year-olds. And I was probably one of the older girls in the class. And so our morning routine was we would arrive on the bus. We would eat breakfast with our babies. We would walk them to their class, and then we would go to our class. And I graduated top of my class from GED, and I didn't even realize what the teacher was instilling in me at the time, because I should have been in the military because I follow orders well. So I'm just doing everything she tells me to. I learn how to work on the computer, and towards the end of my program, she had me fill out a college application, me not really realizing that that's what she had me fill out. And by this time, by the end of my program, we had a car, and Dwayne was coming to pick me up. And she looked at me and she says, hey, because she got the acceptance letter in the mail. She said, go get husband. She didn't even know his name. So we sit down just like us. She's sitting across from us. She looks at me and smiles, and then looks over at him. She said, husband, we going to college, and hands me the letter.
Okay.
And so he looks at me. He's like, you know how to get into college? He not realizing that I've already gone through the steps of the process.
Right.
I start my journey at Lawson State Community College, and they call it a 7-step process. But I got there at 7 o'clock in the morning. I didn't leave at 7 o'clock that night to get all my stuff registered, financial aid, and almost passed out during that time because it was the heat of summer. Mm-hmm. And when I tell you it was hot that summer, they ended up calling the ambulance for me. They checked everything, said I was fine. They was like, well, do you want to go home? I was like, no, I got to get enrolled in college. Wow. So I stayed, and he picked me up, and I started my classes only to find out a couple of months later I was expecting my second son. So I didn't let that stop me, though. I went that first semester. I went that second semester. At the end of that second semester, I had him. The semester ended May 9th. He was born May 31st. I took the summer off, went back and finished my second year, earned my associate's degree in office administration. And then I transferred to another college and ended up getting my bachelor's and master's. And I started working for a college. And ended up going and getting a specialization, a second master's in human resources. Wow. And so, I've had positions here and there. I've been a police dispatcher. That was probably one of my most exciting jobs. Ended up working in education and loved it. So I started out as a financial aid officer and worked my way up to an assistant programs director. So that's where my love for education, where I could help other students, come into play. And then just sitting up praying one day, and I heard God, by the time DJ got into high school. He said, you going back to school? You going back for your doctorate? And so I was like, well, okay. By the time he graduated in 2018, I applied to one college. And again, another story. This is how I know God is real. Applied to one college, but did not go for the thing that I was supposed to go for.
Mm-hmm.
Stressed and overwhelmed, end up flunking out of my doctorate program because my GPA dropped. And this was a tough school. GPA had to be like a 3.5. I think I dropped to a 3.3.
Mm-hmm.
And they said, do not pass go, do not collect $200. We'll see you later. Bye. They went,
oh, wow. They weren't even
like, no,
fiddle with you.
at all. And so started praying, talking to God. And I said, wait a minute. Now you told me I'm supposed to be doing this. So what happened? And I immediately heard him say, you weren't supposed to go for that. See, I was trying to get a doctorate in business. Well, I got enough business savvy and degrees. He said, you're a teacher. You're supposed to be going for education. And that education was supposed to align with the community work that I was doing.
Mm-hmm.
So I interviewed for another college. And out of that class, I was probably one of the only nonprofit leaders. I was the only nonprofit leader in that class because everybody else who was going for education, they were either administrators or they were teachers or principals. And so in my interview, one of the questions was, with that dynamic, why should they accept me into the program? I said, because you don't have anybody else like me in your program. And this is how the education piece can be utilized. Mm-hmm. And I said that with nonprofit work and with community work, there's a dynamic that y'all are missing when it comes to how our education systems work, how our food security systems work. And so by the time I got through out of that interview, they welcomed me with open arms, and I worked that program for 3 years. And
I want to join a program sitting and talking to you. I want to go here because I'm listening to your amazing story, guys. I knew some of it, but I didn't know all of it. But I want to go here. From 15 to all of that, what in the hell kept you going? Because I'm gonna be honest, listening to what you're telling me, and what you was, I don't know anything to grab onto. Role models, mentors, books. I'm honest. I mean, I'm sitting there listening. I'm trying to find something like mama, dad. They not there.
Nope.
Right? Sister, brother, not there.
Nope.
But you continue to rise. So what kept you going?
I'm gonna be real honest with you. I'm gonna say probably the fact that they weren't there is what my push was. Because look, this had to work. If this didn't work, like that was a wrap.
But so many people be in your situation and succumb to the environment. You didn't.
No. I knew for a long time that I did not want to be a product of my environment.
Okay.
Was
it a burning feeling inside?
It was.
Like, okay.
Even now, like when people look at me, they're like, "You different." I'm like, "Yeah, I'm a required flavor," as I like to say.
Right.
Like I've always known that the circumstance in which I grew up in, there was more to it than that.
I know a lot of people watching this now is probably asking, okay, did your husband play a big role and you keep going?
Oh, absolutely. He supports me 1,000,000% in what I do. I could tell him right now, hey, I want to start a parking lot striping company. He'd be like, okay, get the research, tell me what we got to do. He would, as long as it's not illegal, immoral.
Right.
He supports me.
How important was that for you?
That's very important. I'll say the way that we grew up together as husband and wife, and the way that we incorporate our kids and my daughters-in-law, like the family dynamic is very important to me. It's very important to him because that's something that we lack. Both of us lack on both of our ends, that togetherness.
When you was going through what you was going through, was it more that you didn't want to disappoint your husband or you didn't want to disappoint yourself?
I didn't want to disappoint myself. Like I was already feeling inadequate. And I know that people look to me and they say, well, you're Dr. Tamika Holmes. Yeah, I got insecurities and I have doubts. And I have things that, you know, I talk to God about on a regular basis that, hey, he'll tell me to go do something and I'll be scratching my head, be like, all right, Lord, you sure you want me to, like, why me? I ask him why me sometimes. So again, I should have been in the military because I follow instructions.
You know, I asked a lot of my guests this question. I haven't asked it in a while, but you brought it up, and people who watch the conversation know where I'm going with this. When you talk to God, or God speaks to you, right? How does He speak to you? Is it a voice? Is it a feeling? Is something that you see? Does it come to you in a dream? How do you relate with God?
It's a voice, it's a dream, and sometimes, like I have insomnia, that's when He waking me up. Some days I go to bed and I be like, let's say I go to bed at 9 o'clock. I'm up at 12. I'm like, all right, what you got to tell me today? You know, and I hear His voice very clearly as you and I are sitting here having a conversation.
A male voice?
It's just a voice, period. It's like I know it's Him. It's gentle. It's direct. Very direct. And then sometimes I'll have dreams. And those dreams will either be a warning of something. Like I had one earlier this year. And some things that transpired this year did not surprise me because God had already warned me, told me what I needed to do about it. And so it's being handled.
Wow. Wow. So if y'all are watching this, right, and you know, we always have this conversation with our guests here. And she's coming here to talk about some of the great things she's done, but for y'all to understand and want to participate in what she's done, I want you guys to understand this. This is who you're dealing with. You're dealing with a person who cares. You're dealing with a person who understands the community. And they've been through a hell of a lot. That some of the stuff I didn't even know. Because like I did not know you dropped out of school.
That's just a third of the story. Somebody trying to get me to write a book. And I'm like, let me pray on
And I didn't know you got married at 16.
Yeah.
I've been on your hustle for a long time, but I did not know y'all got married at 16 years old.
Yeah.
That's, man.
And I know some people be like, I would never. But again, when you know something is ordained, like I knew He was my husband. And He told me He knew I was
hate y'all when y'all say that. Because I just knew I knew my wife was my wife, and I did it twice and screwed it up. So look, I don't like that.
Look, but I'm gonna tell you, that doesn't mean we hadn't had adversity. You know what I'm saying? Like we've had situations, we've had adversity, we've had issues, but every time we take a situation to God, He gives us the answer.
I got married in front of God and I still messed up 2 times. So
yeah, but did you pray about who was supposed to be in your life?
I thought I did.
Okay.
I messed it up. I don't think I would listen. You know, I think I was still trying to learn how to talk to God at the time. I think I would hear what I wanted to hear possibly. That's fine.
You heard, you convinced yourself. These are the attributes. But she got this going on.
It lined up in the perfect sense of what I thought I saw or what it was. And I'll jokes aside, but that is a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
So all of that happened through your life and you made it through. Before we get to this point, I want to go here. There are little girls right now, right, that may find themselves in a situation in 2025.
Yeah.
Because school right now, you know, I work with the school system and a lot of kids, and you know, you help people with school. They don't want to go to school anymore, right? But they want to be grown, right? They don't have to get up and go that Tamika Holmes had when she was 15, right? And their home life is even better than yours ever could have been.
Yep.
What would you say to the young women right now going through what you're going through? They probably dropped out of school, maybe end up pregnant, and feel like life is not going to go anywhere. Right? What would you say to her right now? And don't give me this, you know, just me and you. This calls the conversation. Don't give me the standard line. Okay? Talk to me for real.
The very first thing I would tell her to do, and what I wish I would have told me or had somebody tell me, take inventory of your life. Meaning, what is it that you don't like about what's going on? What is it that you do like what's going on?
Mm-hmm.
And where's your blessing? Because if you have mom and dad in your life, or even mom in your life, and they're supportive, you're not in a position where you got to get out there and get it out the mud.
Mm-hmm.
So that within itself is a blessing. If it's a situation where you wish you and your mom or you wish you and your parents could communicate better, that's doable. That's something that can be fixed. Even if you're pregnant, that's something that can be fixed. A lot of times I'll see young people kind of blow off the handle and I just want to go have my own. I just want to go do this. Look, bills for real.
Yes.
You know, bills are for real. Rent is for real. You got to eat.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of the systems that are in place, as we know, they're getting ready to change. The SNAP situation changing. Public housing don't look the same no more. So I would encourage anybody that's currently in the situation that I was in, let's take first inventory of what's going on in your life. And then can you have an honest conversation with yourself to say, hey, these are the circumstances that have been thrusted upon me, or these are the circumstances that I put myself in. Because that's when change really starts. You got to be honest with yourself. And so as you do that, now these are situations that have been thrusted upon you, then you got to look at, okay, who do I have as a lifeline? If you like me and you didn't have nobody, our agency is available to help you walk through some things. Now, one thing about it, I'm a woman of my word.
You are.
I'm going to hold you accountable for everything that you say you want to do to get yourself out of your situation to where you want to be. And if you don't believe me, ask some of my students that come through my program. Now, if you're in a situation where there just needs to be some balance, some things, let's work on what that's going to be. But that's going to still call for commitment. If you tired of being in your situation, or they said tired of being sick and tired, you got to fight for it. You know, you got to fight for the things that you say you want. If you want to be happy in life, okay, who's making you sad? Maybe you're going to have to change your circle. You know, if you ain't got no money in your pocket, where you spending it all? Maybe you're going to have to be disciplined. Or maybe that person is in your life that you're spending money on is causing you to feel a certain kind of way. So like you have to take inventory of your life, because bottom line is you can't go to hell for me and I can't go to hell for you. We go to hell by our own decisions and our own making. And when you make the decision to make change, you know, you got to be committed to it.
You know, that's why I'm glad you came up to the show today, because so you keep it real. And if someone watching this show right now wants to get in contact with your company or wants to, they find themselves in a situation, how do they contact you?
They can reach out to us via email. We have information at ccommunitycaredn.org, or they can reach me directly at Tamika, Tamika, at ccommunitycare.org. They can visit our website and leave a message there, www.ccommunitycaredn.org.
Now, let's get to why you're here.
All right.
So you called me up and you said, Joe, I want to talk about some things that we got going on for the holidays and going into 2026, and even do a review and thank some of the people that has helped you out through the year. So let's talk about it.
Yeah. So first I want to start by thanking some people.
Okay.
We've had some amazing partners this year that have come alongside of us. And I'm going to say this, Birmingham is stepping up. Birmingham is stepping up because...
Oh, let's back up before we go there. Let's back up because let's go ahead and tell them what your company does.
Yes.
And then we can get into everything else.
So I'm founder and executive director of Community Care Development Network, and we are a 501c3 nonprofit organization. We have 4 key program areas that we work in. We have human support services, family support services, education support services, and outreach. Human support services, we have 29 partner sites where we distribute food, and currently we're up to serving about 4,000 households across Jefferson County with our partners. Our education support services are for youth and adults who have dropped out of school, or they might have been kicked out of school. It has an accredited high school diploma component, workforce development. We also have life skill support, and we do a ton of just life development pieces for our young people as well. Our family support services is our youth mentoring, our motherhood and fatherhood initiative, and our parents program. Because guess what? As a parent, we need support too. And then outreach, we have our Christmas at CCDN program, our back to school events, our teen summit, and we also have just our tabling events and partner events that we do.
Is there anything you don't do? Oh my God.
Rest, which my son gave me a word, and some of my mentors have been saying it, and people who really love and care about me. My word for 2026 is balance. That is my word.
And I think you really need that. So let's get down to thanking some of the people and what we got going on here.
So this year, of course, as always, Community Food Bank of Central Alabama, they've been a partner of ours for years, and we're able to administer our food program efficiently and better. Our community food hub partners, I'm just going to name a few. If I miss you, charge it to the head and not the heart. So we have Pastor Tim Sanford. He's out there in the Mulva area where we're serving about 500 or 600 households there.
Mhm.
Pastor Erskine over at the Movement Fellowship Church. Pastor AJ over in West End Power Movement Ministries. We also have Old Sardis Baptist Church. I'm just calling a few of them out. So Shady Grove Missionary Baptist Church over in Bessemer. So that's just to give you a little bit about how broad it is. And in particular, I want to give a shout out and thank you to some of our government officials who've come alongside of us. Alabama State Representative Rolanda Hollis, she has been a blessing to our organization. We are beginning to build relationship with Senator Marika Coleman because we're out in her district doing a lot of things as well.
Mhm.
So those are some people I want to thank. The Alabama Department of Human Resources, Children's Trust Fund, Daniel Foundation, Community Foundation of Greater Birmingham. Those are a lot of our partners that come alongside of us to help us fund and do some of the things that we want to do. Lawson State Community College. And then we also administer programs out at the Alabama Department, Pardons and Paroles, their reporting center as well. So those are just a few that I want to give some special shout outs to, because we've been able to partner with these entities, and it has been a game changer for a lot of the work that we do in community.
And reason why I'm glad you came on to the show to do that, because a lot of times so many people work behind the scenes on things that we see where the food, education and stuff is being given. It's not sexy. It ain't nothing that you really want to talk about. You know what I'm saying? It's nothing people want to make a big noise or go viral about, right? But I think it's important that we give recognition to the people who are doing a lot of stuff behind the scenes, because if it wasn't for people like yourself and all your partners, we would have more crime in our city today.
Absolutely.
We would have more things going wrong and awry in our city today. So really thank everyone in Birmingham that's working with my sister here. And please, y'all continue to work and spread the word on what y'all doing. And you got some upcoming events that I want to talk about too.
Yes. So this year, two of our key partners for our Christmas at CCDN program, which we've done every year since 2018. And we started sponsoring 50 kids and we moved up to 100 kids. And thanks to our partnership this year with Toys for Tots, we are able to sponsor, I think we've got over 800 kids this year that we will be giving toys out to this Saturday. And it's going to be a combination of different sites through our community food hub site. And we're going to be distributing toys on this Saturday. And the Black Contractors Association, the Alabama chapter, this is a new relationship that we're building, and they are donating coats. And we'll be also distributing coats on this Saturday. Okay. And it's first come, first served. I want to let everybody know. That way, because I think we have about 180 to 200 coats that we'll be distributing as well on this Saturday. And so that's our event for this month. And then we're also doing a fundraiser. We're trying to raise $1.21 million. And that number is significant because we will be 12 years old next year.
Okay.
And so, again, in a dream I had 12 plus 1, so 1.21. And that's significant for me because doing this work, and as a starting executive director, I funded this work out of my pocket for the first 6 years.
Mm-hmm.
So it's my family legacy, blood, sweat, and tears. And so I am on a mission to make sure that our programs and capacity is better, to make sure that we are able to help as many families and young people as we can, because we don't know what next year is going to look like, as some of our social services and support services are changing throughout. Yeah.
So I can sit here and say to you, sis, number one, congratulations on everything. Make sure you guys come out this weekend and support. But I want to go here with myself. I'm okay now, sis. I'm at peace. I'm
That's
good.
what's up.
Thank you.
I'm proud of you.
Thank you. Thank you. You know, I can't say I had that vision or the dream. I just had the drive, you know, that I wasn't going to quit. You know what I mean? But because it's the holiday season, right? I have something I want to give you. It's nothing big, but it's a little small token to show you that your boy done did okay.
Oh,
Okay. I did okay for myself.
giving me a little something.
Yeah.
Right there.
And I'm gonna personalize it for you.
I need some of that Joe.
Yeah, you get one of the personalized.
That's what I'm talking about.
I mean? If it wasn't for you, this wouldn't even be nowhere near. But because of you, there's Coffees and Conversations. We have our own single out called first what you call it, First Love, and then we have Love You First Coffee.
Love you first.
Right here. So thank you so much.
Got my Joe. That's what I'm talking about.
But
and it's good too.
Yes. But I want to ask you this. What would you say to the 15-year-old Tamika today if you could go back and talk to her now?
Ooh. That's a loaded question. Would I change anything? No. But I would take the same advice that I'm giving to other young girls and other young people. Take inventory of my life. And what I don't like, what can I do about it? And the things that I can't physically do, you know, my relationship with God developed real early in life. And so take Tamika's voice out of the equation and put more of his voice into the equation. You know, and I'm working on I'm not going to tell you what my husband's nickname for me is.
Okay.
But I'll tell you off the air.
Gotcha.
But it's to a testament of how headstrong I am.
Gotcha.
And so I've learned to sit back and evaluate, read the room first, and pay attention before jumping into action.
What is Tamika Holmes afraid of? What do you fear?
You know what? On this side of life, nothing. Because when I tell you I've had that is just a little snippet of the story. I have experienced so much in my life, and I'm only 47. I've had sickness. I've to the point where I've died. You know, a lot of people don't know I had an asthma attack, and that took me out. I was gone. You know, but God saw fit for me not to go home to him yet, you know. I've had adversity. Like And I tell you, when you ask me that question, I sit back. Nothing. Like maybe so much as, you know what? I will say something. I will say this. Because it is a struggle of mine as it pertains to me.
Okay.
Am I doing my best? That's probably the most place I beat myself up at, because I analyze myself. Could I have done more in this area, or could I have done less in this area? And that's something that's new for me, because I will overdo. So sometimes that takes me having that evaluation period, right? Is there something that I can do less in that will help sharpen me to be better? Because you can't do everything for everybody. Just the way I had to go through my tests and trials and learn the lessons that I've had to learn, you got to allow people that same energy, that same opportunity, you know? And no matter how big of a heart that I may have, or how many times I might hear God say, tell them no, don't do it.
Right.
You know, but you cheat that person out of an opportunity to go to God and ask God for what's needed.
At 47, you're younger than me. I don't like you. How do you find success?
I define success as when I go home in the evening time and I decompress, do I feel like I gave God my best that day? That is how I define success. Because let's admit, we all human. There are some days that we fall short. There's some days that somebody gonna just take you to hold it off. You know, is that an area that I fell short in? Is that an area I'm gonna have to go back and fix? Can you be man or woman enough to go back and fix it? Yeah, that's how I define success. And I know it's not the politically correct answer.
Tamika Holmes, just call some conversation. You've worked with hundreds of women. I can say, is it safe to say thousands or hundreds?
Thousands.
Thousands of women. During your time that you've done this, and this is for all ethnicities across the board, what do you see yourself as the one downfall or why women don't succeed these days?
I'll say two things.
Okay.
One is not taking inventory of their current situation. And we all have to do that as individuals. And two, are you misstepping in places that you should not be in and yet faulting other people for where you're misstepping?
Say the second one again.
Are you misstepping in places, in areas you should not be in, and then blaming others for your misstep?
I think that goes for men too, though. I think that goes for men too. I think as I've seen, and you've had me speak at a couple of your classes, right? When I look at what I see people want, I think people give up.
They do.
And I think when you give them hope, right, it works if they put in the work. But I say this for you, and that's for anybody listening to the show today. Nothing works unless you know what to do with it once you got it.
Right.
Because you gave me the blueprint to get back on course. That's to put me on the street. But if I didn't know how to drive or where I was going, because we stopped communicating, but we didn't have to, but it was nothing more to do. Right. I went on my way because you seen I was okay. You let my hand go. Right. But I had to know what to do.
Right.
And this for the word for people that's going into 2026, right? Make sure you, if you're in a situation, go see my sister. But before you even go there, like she said, take the inventory. But here's another piece that I say. You have to know what you want to do with what you're about to receive, or figure it out along the way. Because if you're looking at social media, you consume so much. Like if you go to Chat GPT and ask it all this stuff, it gives you all the information. It gives you everything you need to do.
Mhm.
But you get so much that you don't do nothing.
You don't know how to decipher it. Yeah. Yeah.
So sometimes I think it's an information overload if you don't know what you want to do with it.
Mhm.
And you have to know that when you're getting this information,
Mhm.
sometimes it's okay to stop, work on this, and then go get the rest.
Right.
And so that's what I would say, that for people that's listening to the show today and heard your amazing story that you felt vulnerable enough to share with us, and I do appreciate you for that.
Yeah.
That's a lot of people won't share that. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? But I thank you so much today for coming on Conversations and sharing that with us. Is there anything else before we get up out of here, sis, that you want to leave with our audience?
Don't forget our fundraiser, because we got a lot more work to do. If you go to our website, www.ccommunitycaredn.org, you can hit the donate button and you can designate a one-time gift, or you can designate a monthly gift to help us raise the funds we need. And for those who want to know specifically, it's going to go towards our education program and our human support services program. A lot of people don't know when they say free, it costs approximately $3,500 per student to send them through our program.
Correct.
And so
The money got to come from somewhere.
Money's got to come from somewhere.
Right.
You know, the food, even though we get it at a discounted rate,
Somebody got to pay for it.
we got people that put together boxes, all that stuff.
Right.
It comes from somewhere. So that's where that support is needed. And you know, if you want to partner with us, reach out to me, Tamika, Tamika, at ccommunitycaredn.org.
Sis, we're going to get out of here, but I want to say thank you for everything, for over the years, for everything you've ever done for me, and what you continue to do for this community. We love you. We continue to pray for you.
Thank you.
Happy holidays to you and your family.
Happy holidays.
And thank you for having a cup of coffee
Thank
with
you,
me today.
Joe.
All right, guys. So we about to get ready to get up out of here, y'all. Y'all make sure y'all go out to Filter Coffee Parlor out there on Instagram. Well, I'm sorry. I'm sorry about my producer for just looking at me crazy right now. I'm sorry about that. Right there. All right. Y'all go out there on Instagram. Find the picture that got the mirrors in there. Okay. Find the picture that got the mirrors on this stuff on here, the window treatment. Like the picture so they can win this stuff. Okay. Instagram. Also, y'all know I got my own coffee. I got a few bags left before the holidays. The last year come. Get at your boy. I'm slanging coffee, y'all. All right. Anyway, this is our last show for the year. We will see you guys in January, man. I want you guys to enjoy your holidays. Know that my team and I, nephew Cliff and Lisa, we love you. Filter Coffee Parlor, we love you guys. Thank you so much for making this a successful year. This has been the best year I've had in podcasting. I've been in for 2 years, but this has been the best year because of you. Thank you, and I love you, and we'll see you guys next year.
All right.